good evening. We are live in the Italian TV studio. With us here, we have two wonderful filmmakers from the first feature competition of the Italian Black Nights Film Festival. The film is called Sunbeat, and we have the premiere tonight at 6 o'clock in the Apollo Cinema Solaris. And yeah, I would like to say welcome to Clara and Laura Laperrousaz. I hope I pronounced it right. And you can, yeah.
Almost. It's Laperrousaz, but it was almost perfect, and I like exotic accents. So.
Yeah, and yeah, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about the film. I mean, it's a wonderful film. It's beautifully shot in Portugal. But at first, I wanted to ask you, why did you choose this story about that family and that particular events that developed there?
Because it's related to our own story, actually, and so the theme is something very personal, and we wanted to make a feature out of that. So we wanted to create fiction and to root it into something that we experimented ourselves.
So eventually you decided to choose English?
I try.
What's happening
I try.
now?
If you need to say anything in French.
Yeah,
okay. Thank you very much.
If we are lost.
Yeah.
In fact, we did a medium length feature right before the long feature one, and it was built on the same themes, in fact.
Yeah.
Which was already something from our family and from autobiography. But we decided to stretch in and to put it in other places, and there is a lot of fiction actually, and we think there is a lot of cinema in the movie.
Yeah, and we worked with a 4-year-old child within the Netherlands, and it helped us a lot regarding our way to make it work for those two twins. Yeah, 6-year-old
who are in
aged.
Sunbeat.
Yeah.
To build some kind of process, to know how to make them work on a set, on a movie set. In fact, it's quite particular, in fact, and we had to build some methods and some
tricks. Because we always have to preserve the children, so they are on set for a very, very restrained timing, and so we have to build a feature despite that, so it's not that easy, but we made it in the end. Yeah.
So in fact, there is something you've been working on, writing during like 3 years or stuff like that, and trying to find some financing stuff. And then you have 2 children, maybe they're tired or something like that, and you have to shoot, and you have maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes to make it happen. And you have to find solutions to make them part of it, be happy to be part of it, and you have to be reactive and supple.
Yeah. And you have to bounce to the emotional state of the child or of the children, because there were 2 involved in that special feature. And but actually every dialogue is totally written. And so we used a protocol, which was to give them the sentence one by one, and not to make them learn them.
The text.
The text, yeah. Because we did not want it to appear as if it was some kind of little poetry in school, and to make it like some kind of recitation. So we wanted that feeling of natural. And
more alive, more...
Yeah. Full of spontaneity, but it was totally built, because they are actually pronouncing what we wrote. So.
But it was something to prevent them from being taken by some kind of fear or stuff like that, because otherwise they would have been scared about forgetting their lines or stuff like that, and it would have created some kind of stress and mechanical music.
Yeah, wonderful roles, by the way, by Margot and Ocean. Yeah. And I also wanted to ask you about the stunning locations. The film is shot in Portugal.
Yeah.
And well, as it begins, we have almost seemingly like a perfect portrait of a family.
Yeah.
In this gorgeous landscape, there don't seem to be any problems inside, but then the story starts
infuse,
like opening up. And but I wanted to ask, why Portugal, and why this scenery?
It appeared very late in the process because we were supposed to shoot in France, and we had to go through many ordeals to make that movie. And so finally, it was really supposed to be a movie that was shot in summer. That was very important from the beginning, that it would be very solar, voilà, sunny,
sunny,
very sunny. Yeah, that's why it's called Sunbeat. And so we had to feel the heat and that sensuality in the bodies of the actors, and there was really something special regarding the senses during the.
Et en contrepoint, how do you say en contrepoint? To respond to, maybe to respond to the film, and we wanted. When we started to write, we had already in mind that this should be really
joyful.
Yeah.
And thanks to the colors, and it's always warm colors and very saturated and contrasty.
Technicolor.
And yeah, there is that Western touch that we wanted to make appear very clearly, directly, and that's why we shot it in scope and with that. Full of warmth all the time.
But Clara was talking about the obstacles we went through, and everything led us to, instead of shooting in June, to shooting in autumn, in October and November. And
so it was late summer in Portugal.
And we had to choose between Corsica or Portugal, and we got involved with Paulo Branco, the famous producer. And then we decided to go through scouting locations in Portugal.
And we were so seduced by the landscapes of Alentejo that we decided to shoot it there. Yeah, because it's really stunning visually, and we wanted to make that kind of painting look all the time, because every shot is built as if it was a painting. That was very important for us. So for the les extérieurs, the outdoor settings, it's really that huge sunny landscapes, and for the inside settings, indoors settings, it's like working on clair-obscur, because it's rather night or during the afternoon. So because it's in Portugal and it's summer, you could close the shutters and make it appear as if it was painting for the indoors. And because all the movie is about that secret, that was interesting to build it into some kind of sunny outdoors, and inside there is more darkness and there is a mystery, and that could be interesting to make it work with the psyche of the characters as well.
And because the movie is built on an emotional structure, in fact, and emotional what?
Emotional background.
We wanted to open the shots, and we had in mind from the writing process, we had in mind to different kind and scales of shots, and really super wide shots to again respond the intimacy and enfin c'est un film intimiste.
It's an intimate film.
And we wanted to
intimate drama, but there is that lyrism with the landscapes.
So we wanted it to be as at the same time a landscapes movie as well. You see.
Like you could talk of landscapes literature. I don't know how to translate.
Littérature des grands espaces, wide.
Oh yeah, the literature of open spaces and the grand spaces.
Voilà. So we wanted that Western thing to open completely.
I think you managed that perfectly, because the film looks gorgeous. And I also wanted to maybe discuss the characters a bit. So we have Gabriel, who's
the father.
But he's Portuguese, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he has Portuguese roots, but he's a French actor, and he is playing the half Portuguese father of the twins.
But before you had to move the shootings from France to Portugal.
He was from south of France.
Then he would have been still a local.
But we thought that it could be really stronger to root it more deeply in the narrative. to make that movie some kind of return to those special roots in Portugal, and from comment on dit, from where the twins were completely cut because they did not know Portuguese, and so it was a complete discovery for them.
It was a foreign country. And the breakup was stronger.
Yeah,
he thought.
And they could go through those strange territories and new territories. So it was interesting for us.
Ouais. Yeah. We wrote the screenplay when we decided to shoot in Portugal, and we rewrote as well the screenplay when we met the two girls, the twins, because it was at first written for sisters who were not the same age. But
just like us, actually.
Just like us, actually.
Yeah.
But it's not a narcissistic movie at all.
And perhaps also a word about the central motifs or themes that you are dealing with. It's a loss of a family member, but it's also and then this trauma that still keeps like developing.
Yeah. But at the same time, there is what you were talking about earlier. I mean the Edenic cadre, the Edenic frame, because the holidays could be so perfect, and that's so full of joy and loves of the children, and there is that beautiful river, and you can go through those beautiful walks, and at the same time there is something which is
creepy.
Yeah, creeping and sneaking, and people the characters have to deal with that, but still there is there is that tension all along, but there is light all over the movie. So yeah.
Until the end, but maybe you wanted to finish your question.
No. Actually,
Sorry.
you already answered it partly. I wanted to ask about this the ambivalence that is in the landscapes. That it's the beauty, but it's at the behind every corner.
Exactly.
The mother, the parents, the father always will be seeing this danger for the children because they have a lost one already, which is the central premise.
Yeah.
And how much autobiography is there in that for you? Have you?
Yeah, that's the story of our family, actually. You said the secret, but yes. So that's exactly the case. That's why we wanted to begin that movie from the level of the twins when one of them was learning the secret, because we did not want to treat the narrative with flashbacks or things like that. Yeah. So there are 4 main characters, and we wanted to deal with the twins' point of view as well.
And we did not want it to be too gloomy, too
not
dark,
at all.
and
No.
too.
That's the contrary. Yeah, it's the opposite.
We didn't want to shoot le drame premier, the drame original.
Yeah.
No, in fact, yes. We wanted to see how the secret can
spread and make
again.
And make fiction out of it in the children's mind, because you're creating so much fiction when you're a child, and you're learning something about some kind of ghost. So you're going through many stories and
and missions, and then they have their own way to confront, to confront their parents.
And to speak about it, and to create things about it.
And quite frontally.
Yeah. And there is a tension for the parents, because they do escape,
But you were talking about the nature. In fact, it was super important for us to have it at the same time really gorgeous and splendid, etc. But at the same time, it was really necessary for us to have another side, which would be something threatening and huge,
symbolic.
Symbolically, and able to lose the characters and to create some kind of thriller through it, to put them into danger. Because the children are so small in these wide shots of the nature.
So they could get lost. That's exactly the point, and that's what is
And we wanted to create some kind of onirism and lyrism in this kind of landscapes.
And I believe the film has already received a warm welcome in
France?
Yeah, in France.
But that's not released yet. It's going to be released on the 13th of December, but we've been through several screenings already, and the audience is very enthusiastic, so that's a big gift for us.
Ouais.
Yeah.
And also the first reviews are out from Aura. film festival? No.
Arras,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was something on Cine Europa, and the film has been bought by Arte, and so it's going to be the opening of Arte Kino, which is a festival in France and in many
Europe.
countries. Yeah,
Ouais.
full
Europe.
Europe.
Ouais.
So that's that's a big thing for us.
Perfect. Yeah, I would like to remind that the film premiere is tonight at 6, and there are still last tickets left, so you can catch the screening. And thank you, Clara. Thank you,
Thank you
Laura,
very much.
and good luck with the premiere.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. And thank you,
thank you,
Laura,
Laura.
for your help.